utility company that we were working with found that over time they had seen an uptick in the amount of hours charged to general purpose accounts, and they call them clearing in this case. And so the challenge is those accounts are not very specific. Any type of work can be charged there. So it's difficult to track what type of work's going there, how much money's going into the clearing account in total, and it just makes like auditing and tracking types of work difficult. And it also makes forecasting costs a little more challenging, because if it's going into a general purpose account, it's hard to forecast costs elsewhere that are supposed to be going to certain other projects. When public utility companies show their financials to government regulators, they have to be able to show where the money is going to make sure that it's going to the right things that are approved by the government, in the best interest of the public and the company. And so if everything's going to a general purpose account, that doesn't happen because it's all just one big bucket. It actually brought together a few parts of Greencastle that we offer as a standard service, right? So we incorporated some change management as well as some data analytics combined together on a team to essentially develop a working group to solve this problem. We took it up to a leadership level, right? We had the trust and the buy-in from company level leadership, and so that allowed us to go out at a departmental leadership level and then work downwards from there. And when we talked to the folks in those departments, that gave us a little more credibility, gave us some access to the right people right away. What I would say the other benefit of engaging with that many work centers was, for us, it helped us to identify the handful of work centers that would have the most impact right away. And so when we started the project off, we identified those work centers that were most heavily charging to general purpose, and we were able to quickly focus on those. And that actually allowed us to, within about the first 3 weeks, address almost 80% of all the overall general purpose clearing charges, because it was all coming from a handful of work centers. And then over the course of the rest of the time on the project, we were able to finish out that last 20% and really tighten up the time charging across the board. So ultimately the success was based on this. The company trusted Greencastle to scope the challenge, figure out where and how to engage across the organization, and build a multifaceted solution based on data, governance, and relationships that we had built through the process.